people in the wait. You want to get the people in the waiting room, Elizabeth?
Got it. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so welcome again, everyone. I'm Annie Adams, Portland, Oregon. And I'm going to read the mission statement. And our Helping Parents Heal is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting bereaved parents. Through support and resources offered, we aspire to help individuals become shining light parents, meaning a shift from a state of emotional heaviness to one of hopefulness and greater peace of mind. HPH goes a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and afterlife evidence in a non-dogmatic way. HPH affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non-religious background, and encourage open dialogue. Attendance at all HPH meetings is voluntary. All discussions that take place at affiliate-led meetings are confidential. We hope that participants will learn and share with each other. Zoom meetings run by HPH leadership are not confidential. These meetings typically feature guest presenters and are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members worldwide can watch and benefit. Neither type of HPH meeting is designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers, allowing parents to learn about many possible ways to heal. This includes presenters covering progressive topics such as afterlife evidence and connecting with children who have passed. The views expressed by our guest speakers may or may not reflect the opinions of Helping Parents Heal leaders and members, so we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally.
Thank you. That was perfect, Annie. And I'm going to go ahead and read Christopher's bio. And again, Christopher is going to be at the conference as well, which is very exciting, as is Annie. Christopher's journey as a spiritual guide began in childhood when he first experienced encounters with the spiritual world. Growing up in a historic home surrounded by spiritual energy, he learned to harness his natural abilities to communicate with those beyond the veil. Despite the initial challenges of understanding his gifts, Christopher found his calling in serving others through his connection to the divine. After a transformative experience following the loss of his mother, Christopher dedicated his life to utilizing his abilities for the greater good. He views his work as a sacred mission to bring healing, comfort, and truth to those navigating life's challenges. With compassion and unwavering dedication, Christopher helps individuals find peace in the face of grief and trauma and gain clarity to overcome personal struggles. Through his readings, Christopher delivers powerful messages and insights from the spirit world, offering a source of guidance and support. He believes in the transformative power of spiritual connection to uplift lives and bring about positive change. By embodying the principles of unconditional love, forgiveness, and service, Christopher creates a safe and nurturing environment for individuals to explore their spirit journeys. Please learn more about Christopher by visiting his website, which is www.christopherpsychicmedium.com. I'll put that in the chat box. And without further ado, please join me and Annie in welcoming Christopher Mendez. Welcome, Christopher.
Hello, everybody. I was just looking up a fun fact because we are here for I call them the Rainbow Angels, the Rainbow Children. I am a gay man and I don't know the initials very well, so I'm not even going to attempt to butcher it because I don't want to. But 1970, June 28th was actually the first gay pride, and that was 54 years ago. And to be honored to be at the first rainbow meeting for Helping Parents Heal is, to me, feeling like a pioneer myself. So I just want to say I'm very honored for being here and honoring our angels of rainbow color in the spirit world. I want to start by talking about your children in particular. So what I'm going to say is today we're going to be filled with a room of chosen ones, because chosen ones are people who come to this planet to bring forth change or not to be like everyone else. And so over time, they have been chosen and they come. And I want to say that every one of your children who have stepped up and stepped out of the norm to tell their true identity, their journey was a pioneer, and their story was told to one person, two people, three people, 1,000 people. That story has carried forward because of their presence. So I just want to let you know that I'm very honored that I was chosen to be here to pull in these special children this evening. And I want to say that I want to thank Annie for inviting me and Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the one thing is that I want to be respectful with the pronouns. And again, I'm not the greatest at them. So if I mess that up, please forgive me with that. And also the initials. I should have studied it. And when I looked at it, I'm like, oh my God, there's more than there was a couple of weeks ago. And I'm completely lost. So I'm very sorry for that. So I do want to be respectful. So I'm just going to call them our rainbow angels or something of that nature so that this way we can all be on the same page and I don't have to worry about pulling in different information that might be offensive if I don't address it the correct way. Is that okay? Everybody all right with that?
Yeah. And Christopher, too, this is also honoring parents who identify in that community. So,
Okay.
yeah. So we're just recognizing the community and the families who are, yeah, part of the. Elizabeth knows the initials very well. I was very impressed. So, yeah.
I was very impressed too, Elizabeth. That's when I went like I did my little turtle stage. I was like, oh no, I didn't learn that.
Yeah.
Well, I've just been posting a lot with all of the different initials, and I think that's probably why I'm able to remember them. But there are a lot more than there used to be. So I completely understand, Christopher, and thank you for the kind words that you've said.
Thank you. So let's see if so one thing I wanted to talk about just really quickly before we do start is how does this mediumship really work for people? And I will say, if you watch the beginning of a lot of medium videos, I do believe a lot of people do tell how they get their gifts, how they get messages. They hear your kid, they don't hear your kid. Some of them feel it, some of them do feel it. So I just want to let you know mine is more of a reading of frequency. So I become more of a radio or a TV or something that is transmitting information through me. I do not hear a different voice. I just know different things about your children. I always say that, and then I say something that kind of contradicts. I'm like, oh, their voice is like this. It's just I can embody them or feel them. So I just want to let you know that I don't physically hear the spirits. I feel them. They tell me things, they show me things. So that's how I do my work. So I go more into a channeled state. So everything that I'm saying during your message is literally part of your message. So even if I start telling a story about myself, it is in relationship to the child or the spirit because they're bringing forth my memories to be able to let you know who they are. Does that make sense to everyone?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I am going to sage just to clear the air because there is a lot of energy in the room and I just want to tone it down a little bit so I can pick out some people to give some gallery readings with and see where we go from there. So the bell is set at the heart frequency to bring us all back to the center of love. And so that's why I ring the bell after doing the sage. So if you're just wondering why I'm ringing it, it's just the frequency of the heart to bring it to our family members. The first one that I want to unmute is the lady with the blue shirt and has that beautiful art piece behind her with like it looks more like a collage, but it's an art piece behind her. Yes, that's you, the one who can raise their hand. Jane.
Sorry, I got the wrong one. Blue is difficult. There are a few people with blue, so I'm going to go ahead and ask Jane.
Jane it is.
There we go.
There.
Hello, how are you
Hi.
today?
I'm fine. Thanks, Christopher. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. So I have read a lot of people, so I always ask so that this way people in the room also know this too. Have I ever read you before?
No.
Okay. So I always like to do that because sometimes people, I will be honest if I do know the person in the room because I just feel like sometimes people wonder that, and I just feel like it's a good information to tell people. Um, So when I'm looking around your energetic field and looking for the spirit, I'm getting more of an age than a gender. So I'm getting more of mixed energy. So I don't know. So what did your child refer to as?
Well, a non-binary.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah. And
So non-binary means that they refer to neither gender, correct?
that's correct.
Okay, thank you. I just want to know why I'm feeling this with their energy because it was very interesting because I'm like I don't feel either. I can't decipher the gender. So I
Mhm,
wanted to acknowledge that with you that even in spirit their soul is still reflecting that they do not have a gender. So I just
mhm,
wanted to acknowledge that with you.
mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Um so what is the terminology that we use for non-binary? So when I'm saying I don't want to say he or she. Is it they?
They. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to be respectful.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting because the first thing that I am getting is more of like a garden smell. And I know this sounds very interesting, but they're literally giving me like a wildflower bouquet to
Yeah.
give you,
Yeah.
not
Yep.
not roses, not the
Yeah.
traditional. And
Correct.
that is how they are showing themselves forth. Um, They are at peace. So, whatever decision they made to leave this planet, they said, I'm at peace. So, they
Mhm,
don't want to go there with you. So, I don't want to rehash the death aspect of it
mhm,
because
mhm.
they said that they are far greater than that now. They have evolved more, mom, and that they are more able to help in this perspective than they were on that perspective of reality. So
Mhm,
it's more about their energy and what they're doing now with you. Now, I do feel they are on Earth more than they are in the spirit world around you. I do
mhm,
feel music is also a very prominent speaking point through like
mhm.
the radio or the car or just being in there with you because they're showing me always
Yeah.
traveling or being involved with that with you
Yeah.
also.
Yeah. I can take
So
that.
they
Yeah.
wanted to acknowledge that that is them. And they make things come up. So and it's more socially, it's more out there, like more like on an advocate aspect. So I really feel as a spirit, they are giving other people strength to step forth or being there with just people knowing about them. So were they
Mhm.
in school, like high school or something
Yes.
at that time?
Yes.
Okay. So I just feel a lot of people are following this lead or following
Mhm,
them more as a mortar, not as their death. Does that make sense?
mhm. Yes.
Is there also like a certificate or award that was giving out in honor of your child? Because they're showing me that also.
Uh, yes. Yep.
Okay. I
Yep.
just they were there. They're just saying
Yes.
there. I was proud. I I I feel safer. They keeps using the word safer. I don't know what the
Yeah.
significance of
Yeah, that makes sense. Hmm.
that. So what is the significance of this art piece? Because this is what drew my attention, this energy of the art piece. Did you
Oh,
create?
I mean, to be honest, a big picture went down, so I like Gustav Klimt. And
Okay.
actually the significance is a one of his paintings connected to my daughter that my husband gave me, and it was over. She liked it a lot as well. So I think that's the significance. And
Yeah, because it's like it's what drew me. It wasn't even your room, it was the painting.
oh,
Like
oh, and then the
going,
other thing, I guess, is, I mean, she liked everything Japan. She
okay,
had taught herself Japanese and all that. So I think the fan, people comment on just
okay.
that aspect. When people see it on Zoom, they talk about it all the time, being a Japanese fan. I think it is. Yes, it is.
It's just stunning, and I will say it drew the attention, and um it did make they really step up and like energetically pull me to
Mhm.
you. So I do really feel like that is what they really like it. That's what I keep hearing. I really I very peaceful soul. And when speaking, very like soothing. When she's speaking to me, like I get very soothed. Or they, sorry.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
get very soothed. I get very
Mhm.
like so I just wanted to make you aware like the energy is very calming. So why I tell family members that is you could be sitting on the couch and if you get an overwhelming calmingness, it could be they floating through the house and then you're just feeling the same energy that I'm feeling,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like I want peace. I want everybody to be happy. I don't want
Mhm.
anybody like I don't think this person like I don't think they would have wanted to be in a room where people arguing and that
Mhm.
kind of thing. It just feels like when they come
Mhm.
through, they demand calmness.
Mhm.
Make
Yeah,
sense?
that makes, yes, very much so. Yeah.
And I want to thank you very much. Do
Yeah,
you
thank
have any
you.
questions for your child since you got a medium to speak to you in a public gallery? So I know that sometimes people go from meetings to meetings to meetings and don't get chosen. So you have one in front of you now. So if you have any questions, any concerns, anything you were thinking, how everything
Um,
is, I will answer anything for
oh,
you.
thanks. I actually don't have one on the top of my head. Except I have one that's it's a big mystery because the hair was a big feature for her. She changed it all the time, and I'm just wondering
Yes.
how she's presenting herself. If you can tune into that. If not, no worries.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can. So the hairdo that she's showing me today is this purple and pink hairdo with these little pom-poms. I don't know what the whole
Oh.
having little pom-poms on the side of my head is, but that's what she's showing me today.
Okay.
She's
Great.
being very
Yeah.
unique with the colors, though. She did
Yeah.
show me like, I always think of the song from My Age, You're So Vain. And like she flashed a lot of the many different hair colors and hairstyles.
Hmm.
So I would say to you that they could come in any shape or form with it, but right today, what she showed me very cutely was like these pom pom hair with pink and purple. So I
Okay.
don't know what the significance of the pink and purple color is,
Great.
but it's just the color she was showing me today.
Yeah. Yeah. She had it pink and she also had it purple way back. So yeah, that makes sense.
So it's just
Thank
a
you
lot
so
of
much.
colors.
Thanks very much, Christopher.
Thank you very
And
much.
I have a big wildflower garden, so that's where I was right before I came in. So thanks. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, because I smelt them and I knew she was there with you at that moment of time.
Oh, that was wonderful. Thank you, Christopher. And I just want to remind everyone that if you do get a validation story, it's always wonderful to get a picture of your child and then a write-up about the validation for the newsletter. And my email, I'm just going to put in the chat box, is elizabeth@helpingparentsheal.org, so that you can send it to me if you'd like. And thank you. I'll let you go, Christopher. Sorry.
No, thank you. I'm very happy. I'm just flipping through names real quick and just kind of hold it. So you can't see what I'm doing. I'm like hovering over everybody's name. So the one who has their name Theo or Theo, would they also call themselves like Thea or something of that nature or something of that? The person whose child's name is like Theo?
So I've asked Carolyn to unmute. Do you want to speak to her or do you want to
I want to
so
speak to her.
okay. Can you unmute Carolyn?
Hi, everybody. I'm not sure this is me.
Well, when I went past
Okay.
you, I also heard like T or the name T
Okay.
instead of Theo. So that's why I stopped. I didn't see the name until I clicked on it and then I saw Theo. So that's the reason why I
Great.
was asking that question.
Yes. Um, I'm
Um,
sorry. I'm a little flustered. Could you please repeat the question?
it, I saw the answer when I heard it because it was like
Okay.
I was like, is there somebody calling their child T or The? And then when I went across your name, I seen it. So
Yeah.
so I just when a word comes through my head, sometimes it doesn't always come through clear or it comes through very fast. So you have to kind of catch it or you miss it. So it depends on how it comes through. So that is the only reason why I was asking about the T name and the her, it both matches. So that to me, I'm going to see what information I have. And if it isn't validating, then we'll move to the next person.
Okay.
All right. How did your child pass?
Our child, uh, an accidental fentanyl poisoning.
Thank you, because the what I was explained was it wasn't the time, it isn't the time, the time is something like the time, all about time from that day. And I was like, this is a interesting thing. So I don't want to be too sensitive and I don't want to start, but she is going into that point of the day, the time, the way everything fell into place, that kind of stuff. And it's more on an apologetic note, more on like near misses and stuff of that nature. So were you having an odd feeling most of the day because she's validating your feelings?
Having a what kind of feeling?
Like a weird feeling the whole day of her passing.
Oh, yeah. And our child doesn't actually use the pronoun her. It's fine if you do, though. Totally fine. Um,
No, you gotta tell me so I can do it
yeah.
correctly because
Yeah.
I'm only pulling in from the energy, so I'm not pulling in their name or anything. So
Got
if
you.
they prefer he, what is
Yeah.
it?
Our child used he,
He? Okay,
and
thank you.
identified as male.
Okay, so I will do that going forward.
Yeah. Uh, yes, I would answer the question as yes.
So I just want to let you know that they were with you also after the point. So it just feels like there's this whole real spiritual connection between you and your son. And the connection that you had is more on an energetic level. So why I'm telling you this is I do feel you can connect at a higher level than some other parents in the room just because of the connection that you had with your energetic feelings, even at the time of death. Does that make sense? That's what it's kind of like a teaching. So he wants to teach you. He's like a teacher to me.
That
He's
makes sense. Yeah.
wants to show you and say, we can connect really well because you always felt me. You felt my anxieties when I would get them in school and stuff of that nature. So they're like talking about you felt them all the time energetically, even when they were a little child. So they said that does not diminish with this passing. So
Yeah.
what do you do to connect? Do you meditate? Do you do your own rituals? Like, what do you do to spiritually connect to your child?
Um, yeah, I've done all the things. It's been 4 years. I've done
Okay.
everything, including meditation classes, helping parents heal meetings. And at this point now, the experience I have is like a continuous stream of connection. It's
Yes.
it's like the crown chakra is open and it's a constant conversation. And so things have shifted even just recently.
Mhm.
So I do all the things. I do the readings and the journaling and the meditation. I just have a much more integrated sense of conversation now after all this time. I hope that's helpful.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm feeling. So that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, you don't understand, some parents tried this for a long time and can't get this connection. So I'm just letting you know that you have a very special connection with your child, and I'm glad that you have developed it as strong as you can. And that is, I feel, but I also feel now your child is at the next level and is more at the angelic state. And this probably happened probably about 2.5 years in after passing. And now they are attached to at another level. So I do feel you went through the transition of the soul with this child. So I do feel the connection is real, it's legit. I do smell like more body wash than I would cologne. So I don't know if that is a significant smell that would crush your nose at a time, but it is not like I'm sprayed with a bunch of cologne from like Dillard's or anything. It smells just more like I took a nice shower with this smell. So I just want to let you know that is something that I am smelling there also. I'm also seeing a lot of different and I don't even believe they're all yours, but different animals around this child as if they were like an animal speaker or something, because they seem to collect people's loved ones,
Yeah.
pets. So it is not, it could be like a cousin's cat or dog, they would still find it. So that's what I'm also getting there. Um, Again, the whole fentanyl thing and the way they pass, they really just want to put that's they can't keep hurting people with the stories. And it's kind of like it went around for a little bit. It's diminished. So they are more, he is more excited about that now that I can now people start remembering me for who I am and what I accomplished on this planet than how I left it. That's just my story. It's an end of a book, it's end of a chapter. It just had to be this way. And that's what they keep saying. And that, it could have said anything on there on the death certificate. And they're saying that holding on to the is not healthy for some people. Not you. There's people that are still holding on to what was said.
Yeah.
Because you have a very good, I'm going to say, as a psychic, I also can read people. And I'm going to say, with you, I do feel you have a very good mental demeanor. You really have worked on yourself. in this journey too, and it's taking two, but I really feel like the way I see it is the soul of your child and you work together to heal you because, you know, we can argue, is it the time or was it not? It's a man-made object. We could go back and forth. I feel your son was like, I'm not going to go deal with this. I'm just going to fix what I could fix.
Yeah.
Um, is there another child also?
In my sphere or
Yeah.
in my,
Yeah, like you have another child.
no, we don't have another child, but we have a lot of young people around us, his friends mostly and cousins.
There's one cousin in particular that feels like a sibling. So they must have
Yeah.
grew up together a lot because they keep showing me
Yeah.
this other person with them. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of their energy does go to the cousin protection, watching over. So please let the cousin know because it's like a sibling energy to me. It's not like a cousin energy. It's like they probably grew up together.
Yeah. Lovely.
Makes sense?
She's coming over tonight right after this. So
Yeah, just you know, the goofy faces that are being made right now, I think that is more so for you to remember the eye rolling and the way they would just it's all eye talking to me right now. So it's just kind of like showing me that so that that's a sign also, even if you're just sitting in a restaurant having dinner, you could look over and see some even if it's a younger kid roll their eyes or just make those weird faces, know that it's the divine timing at the right moment at the right time. Make
lovely.
sense?
Yeah, it all makes sense, Christopher.
Um, so were they in full transition or starting? Because I'm confused with the transitional state of the earthly body.
Sorry, I don't understand.
So like they were born a female, correct?
Our child, no.
Okay.
We're no. Our
So
child,
what is the gay and lesbian connection with the child?
oh, grew up in a queer family
Okay.
and who, I don't know ultimately our child's sexual orientation or gender identity, but
I
we're
feel it would that's where my confusion was because I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
getting one.
We
So I
call it
don't
yeah, we call that queer spawn. He was surrounded by LGBTQ people his whole life and raised
okay.
by us. Yeah.
So one thing with children that are like that, they do tend to come off of more non-binary because of being around, they're more apt to experiment, but then find their sexuality later. So maybe that's what we're getting.
Yeah.
You
He was
know, that's maybe what I'm getting at. I don't feel your son was though.
yeah, I think that all of that is true. He was raised and came up through a large LGBTQ community, so
Right.
he's part of the community. But he himself
I think
never.
he was very protective and he was an advocate because it just feels like he would stand up for rights and the people that surrounded him were unique people. And even that he's showing me, but the cousin is somebody that is like, there's a love for this cousin. So I really feel like they are someone that is very highly connected. Um, I think you and her are his two favorite like women on the planet kind of feeling, so just just know he's also sending love to his dad. So he just wanted to acknowledge that and he said it that way. He does want to give he's like, can I say goodbye to her properly or give her like if I because that's one thing is she didn't really get to say goodbye to me because of how it went. And he said, I would love to do that with you. Um, so he's kind of embracing you more on the back of your arms, not over your shoulders with the hug. And he's giving more of a kiss on the one side of your face than on the lips. I'm just going to acknowledge that for you. And he said, thank you for always having his back and allowing him to shine, allowing him to be the person, the man that he is, or the person that he is. He said, I always was allowed to grow. An experiment thing. And he said, maybe it's because I was this only child and I was a little spoiled mom, but I don't really have many negative memories. And that's because of your guidance. And he keeps thanking you. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christopher. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thanks, everyone.
Oh, sure. Thank you. I'm glad that you got a reading. And again, if you'd like to send me something for the newsletter, that would be wonderful. And that was great, Christopher. We still have some time. So
okay. Yeah, because you know I'm horrible with time, Elizabeth. So someone has to keep track. Because if anybody's ever got readings from me, there's times they pay for an hour and we talk for 3. So it's and again, it's not advertised and it's not the norm, but I always go over at least 10%. So sorry about that. I don't, even when I do them live,
say sorry for going.
sometimes we're there for 6 hours and then I'm like, oh my God, this was a 3-hour event. I'm so sorry, people. And they just stay. So thank you very much. So I won't notice it. So I wore my Just Love It shirt just for today so that this way we can honor the gay pride of the month. And I will tell you, you know, just parents, children, people that go through the struggles. I'm just very grateful that we are able to have this publicly nowadays. When we talked 54 years ago is when the first person stood up and said, we need it right. So I just want to bring that back out again because it is a beautiful thing. So I know Debbie and she's in the corner, but I want to give her a little message because her next week is her son's death day and birthday all in one week. So I just want to give her a quick message, everybody, but I do know her. I do know her son, but I do have a message for her. I will keep it as quick as possible, but it's just coming over to me overwhelming. And I just don't want to ignore a message because I know somebody.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I knew he would stop in for a minute, but and yes, we won't take a lot of time because I know he's around.
Well, I'm going to tell you,
you.
as he's coming through, I'm getting a lot of pain in my lower back and kidney. So I don't know if that was the cause of it in the back, but it's just, he came in and I'm like, oh boy, what are you doing to my back? Because I know he has a unique smell about him and I always comes in with the dog. So I do want to acknowledge that they are still together, roaming. He said, I'm roaming the cosmos with the dog, Mom, now in the ether field. He is very educated when he is speaking to me, especially about the cosmos, and he's talking a little bit out there, but he's just letting you know that he has evolved. I do feel the wing thing for him. We're going on what, year 3?
This is, yeah, I'm ending year 3.
So we're hitting year 4. So you finished 3 years. I do feel that you're going to get a sign very shortly about him finishing his transition because he is done with it. And this is what he's telling me. He says, you know, it's always looking up, looking out in nature. He has something with the life force of plants and living creatures. So I do want to let you know that he has the ability to show you signs in them on a daily basis. So he says, I do still watch out for you, Mom. He keeps calling you more his companion or his mom companion than Mom. And he said, I didn't leave that post. I didn't leave the role. I'm still there, but I did have to do some work here and there. And he does leave you astray at times. And he said he's apologizing for that. And he says, you can feel when I leave for a little bit. But he says, I do the training, Mom. I have to. So,
yeah. Yeah, the kidney pain, he actually had kidney failure without us knowing it, but I also just had a kidney stone pulverized last week. I've had a non-working kidney for several months, and they just removed it last 2 weeks ago. So both
Okay,
of
so that's why he's bringing
that's where the
because
bad is
it
with it.
literally said, talk to my mom and it felt like someone punched me in my kidney.
Oh
So,
yeah, it's been
so
months.
I will say to you, that is a very interesting. Why do they
Yeah,
gotta hurt me to talk to you? I'm just kidding. I
it's like
always
know
feel
what he
I feel that
went
sometimes.
through. Yeah, I know what he went through. It's miserable, so I get it. And yeah, he's he's definitely way up there with things. So, and I am getting signs all the time with it. They're just, it's just there. So, working on
Thank
it.
you.
Working on it. Thank you. And thank
Um,
you. I'm glad he
he
said hi.
is also saying like plan something very special for you and him. I would say a one night out would be really beautiful during this next week. He's showing me like maybe going he does like the beach area, but it's just kind of like road trips are always what's good. Even if you just go
Hmm.
for a ride on, I mean, I don't know when the day falls,
We
maybe
celebrate the
Friday.
birthday. We've always celebrated birthdays with him, my mom, my brother.
Okay.
I celebrate their death days, which is why he passed 2 days before his birthday because he knew that's how it would go. Smart Alec. And I already have a beach trip planned for next Friday. I took the day off and I'm
Okay.
going for a special trip to our favorite beach. So, yes.
So just make sure you spend that time with him. Make sure when you're sitting by the water, you call him for so he can wrap his arms around you.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is gonna mess around with the air. He he feels a little bit more like a mystic now. I don't know why I will say that to you, but it feels like, he has a little bit of Merlin qualities. He can make magic happen now. And I'm just saying it's
Mm-hmm.
because he did the studying to do this. It just feels like this is something maybe he even did on Earth, but it just feels like he has more powers or more energy than he did. And he's just kind of making you aware that
Mm-hmm.
there is a lot of changes coming for you this year. This year is going to be the year about Debbie. He does now know that you have sacrificed a lot of years for him and for his journey. And he's saying it's your year. It's your year to start putting you back together, putting your pieces back together, allowing somebody else to be that co-pilot. He said it doesn't have to be romantic, Mom, but you still need someone to be your co-pilot.
I'll work on that one, but
Yeah,
he's been my
He's
co-pilot
pushing it.
forever.
He
Yeah,
wants you to start traveling and having someone to talk to about it.
yeah, because he was my companion. I mean, it was just me and him for the last 10 years of
Yeah.
things, and he's just always lived with me. So yeah, definitely, he's been my travel companion and everything for all that time. So yeah, so I'm still taking him out, working better at it. So
All
thank
right.
you. I'll let you go
Thank
find
you very
somebody else.
much. And now,
Thank you.
now you can take away the back pain that he gave me because it's still there. But
It's gradually going. They told me 2 weeks of recovery. We're working on it. That's funny
yeah,
though.
it made
Seriously,
me feel you to know that you went through something. So
it's
that's
miserable.
beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Debbie, and thank you, Christopher. And that was wonderful. So
And
we
what
still
else?
have time.
Yeah. We have time for one more. I'm 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 torn because I'm gonna go with there's a lady that has like a china closet with a picture of two people behind her, flowers, glasses, bun in her hair. I can see their name, Lisa. I forget I could see people's names. Like if I hover over them, I can see their names. So I'm very sorry. Sorry about that. Oh, the last thing I want to tell everybody is that if you would like to give Elizabeth your name, maybe, or somehow where I could do a drawing, and because I want to give one person a free session that came to today's event in honor of Gay Pride. And I forgot to say that in the beginning. And so I do want to do that. So if you are interested in that, I don't, Elizabeth, you could pull the names once they send it to you. I don't need the names or emails of the people. It's not for solicitation purposes. It's just if you say, I pulled this name out, this is the person who won during the event, then we can just correspond with emails to get the session.
That's wonderful. Thank you for doing that. And I'll make sure to get all of the information to Annie so that she can do it actually, because then she can get in touch with everybody afterward. And I'm hoping what we do need though is your email addresses. So if you want to message me in the chat box, then I will get all those together. And that way, yes. So Julie, even though you came on late, let's go ahead and get you into the drawing. So we'll get all of those emails together and then let you know. And thank you so much, Christopher. And I know that Lisa is unmuted, so I know she's looking forward to speaking to you.
So hello, how are you? Nope, I don't hear you.
I don't hear you, but it looks like you're unmuted. That's weird. I wonder if your microphone, it says you're connected. Oh, darn it. I don't know why this is. Yeah, I can't hear either. I wonder if you log off and log back on again, Lisa. Sometimes it works. Can you do that for us? And then we'll just come back to you after you get back, if that's okay. Sorry about that. It really rarely happens, but unfortunately, it's always a question of logging on and then it just doesn't work. Zoom is that way.
So
But
the other people that I was being drawn to real quick was Cheryl Flynn, and so while she's going in, I can go over to Cheryl Flynn's real quick.
I just asked Cheryl to unmute.
Hello,
Hi.
Cheryl. How are
Hi.
you?
Good.
So I want to tell you, I know that you're sitting there, but the love is coming in for your husband. So there's a lot of love coming from the spirit world to him.
Okay. He's right here.
I see him. So what is your child's name and what do they prefer to be called?
Kenny, he, him.
So Dad, I'm going to let you know because this was very overwhelming and it was very emotional when I was feeling it. Your son is sending you a lot of forgiveness and a lot of love and a lot of like fresh start feelings, like nothing that was ever said or done matters. I love you and all this energy coming to me. And he literally kept in my ear constantly telling me like, I look at the good, I look at the good, I look at the good, and the lessons and how you would guide me and tell me the right way to do things. So the other minutia is the minutia, and he said that that doesn't matter anymore, and he wanted to send you all that love and forgiveness. So I wanted to make sure we got that to you.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he's like, Mom, I really feel like the communications, the talking, like just being on the phone with each other is what is missing and what is being missing between both of you a lot. Like just knowing that he would reach out and just ask you how you were, like that not happening anymore. He said that's the hardest thing for him. And he said he tries with signs, he tries with like symbolizations with it, but he said, Mom, you're not as good as noticing them as I would like you to be. So that's the way he's kind of saying it. So if you're finding some, remember you're probably only finding about 60%.
Okay. Because, yeah, I feel like I'm finding a lot of them. And
Yeah, no, he's over the top with them. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Like it could be even being in a restaurant, divine timing, making the waiter come over with a Ken sign or a Kenny sign on his shirt. Like he wants to make sure you know that he is present and it's in the weirdest places.
okay.
So he's just saying, I love sending you signs, making you like he likes your expression when you do find them too. So he is definitely there.
Good.
Because you get excited, you pull out your phone, you got to do that. I would say look at license plates also, because he's showing me very much series of license plate numbers, his numbers, plus it could be the name also.
Yep. I do that constantly. I'm looking at license plates.
Yeah, he said, keep it up. He said, I'll make sure. And he said, maybe the color of the car means something too. And like he's getting more like bigger with it. So maybe it's just like you're noticing the license plates, but you don't know it's his favorite thing. And there's a sticker of Kenny in the back window also from South Park. You know what I mean? Like he's like making sure that it's like bigger, like it's a production, like it's not just one. It's one after. It's like he says, I'm not one and done. He goes, I like the finale of the fireworks. That's what he said. He said, that's me. I want to show
Okay.
you tons of them all at once so that you're like, oh my God, he's working hard. So
Okay.
that's his energy. He has a lot of energy. I will say he's very fast moving spirit. So I would also listen for like electricity movement in your house because he's fast. So he could be flying through the electricity just to maintain his energy because I'm getting that. I don't know if he was like a hyper kid or something, but I'm getting a very hyper adult. Like his energy is very high.
Yeah,
So,
he was bipolar, so he would be up or down.
well, I would say in the spirit world, he's very up. Like he's
Okay.
very like today, I would say yes, close to manic is probably where he liked being,
Yeah.
where he was in this not doing negative things, but just the happy, outgoing person. Like that's the energy I'm getting today. I'm not getting any low energy with him. I mean, the heart thing, he came in barreling. He was like, hey, I got to talk to him. I got to tell my dad this. So he really wanted to break through to tell you that, Dad. I am going to go back to that other woman because I don't want to run out of time with her because we only have a few more minutes. But I want to thank you both for allowing me to speak with you. And no, Dad, it is a new beginning. That's what he keeps telling me. So I don't know
Thank
what
you.
that means,
I
but
think he was pushing through earlier too because you were asking the other lady about born female and changed to male, and that was Kenny, and also the animals because Kenny worked at the Humane Society. So I think he was trying to get himself in there. So I'm glad he did. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
thank you.
That's so exciting. Thank you for doing that for Cheryl and her husband. And we have Lisa back on here, and we're hoping. So I've asked you to unmute, I believe.
Hello,
Um,
Lisa.
can you, or maybe you aren't able to unmute. For some reason, I can't click on this the way that I should be. Let me take you off the spotlight, and then I'm going to try to ask you to Okay, now you are unmuted, right?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Yes.
hear you.
Hooray.
Okay, good.
Yay.
Good.
That worked.
Okay, that worked.
Oh,
Wonderful. So, welcome back.
okay. I just shrunk my screen and I got scared I was going to disappear. So, God, no more technical difficulties with you.
We'll keep our fingers crossed.
So, what is the pronoun of your child?
Um, he, him.
Okay. And that was assigned at birth also?
Yes.
Yeah, because
Yes.
I'm getting
He's a
I'm getting
male. Yeah.
okay, I'm getting a boy my whole life, so that's why I
Mhm.
want to make sure it is the right person. So that's why I was asking that question there. Um, you are his like inspiration. So I don't know if you realize that on this planet, but he's putting you up like a glamorous movie star to me. I don't know if that's something that he would have ever told you on this earth, but he's making it very clear to me today, like about your beauty, about how you carried yourself. And it's just he's very affectionate to
Yes.
you. It's like all he wants to do is touch, 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 touch. And this is an adult. So, I mean, I
Hmm.
don't know if he was like that in real life, but it's just you're the mama. You're there's pride and joy. There, no one's saying
Yeah.
anything. So I
Mama
want to
bear.
make what?
Mama bear.
Well, he said, yeah, that too, mom. Yeah, yeah. He says, yeah. And then he says jokingly, he goes, and if you don't feed her, so he's just joking. It's he has a very funny personality.
Yeah, he has a great sense of humor.
like hilarious. So I'm
Yeah.
just letting you know that that's all coming through. Um, what was his cause of death? Because he's another one that doesn't even want to go there today.
Yeah, he died of congestive heart failure. Well, pneumonia was number one, congestive heart failure second. And then what didn't help him in the notes was alcohol-induced, um, the liver, where
Okay.
he got very yellow.
Yeah, this is all like to him, like
I
he's
can
just
see
like
him
pushing
doing
it
that.
away, like, yeah. They said all that stuff. He said it's he's more worried about you. He's more worried about you shining. I'm going to be very honest with you about worrying about how he left. He said it's time for you to live every day, mom, because he said you showed everybody how to live. You always have. And he said, me leaving dimmed your light a little bit on this planet. He said, not every day, but he said, I do see it. And he said, but you're the one who always pulled everybody else out of the darkness. And he said, so we can't have you, the beacon of hope, being down all the time. He said, you're getting better. He said, I do see that. And he must be a bit taller than you because he just keeps wanting to kiss you on your head. So I don't know what all that's
He
about.
was really tall. I'm 5'2", and he was almost, he was 6'2.5", 6'3".
Yeah, and he's just like
Yeah.
kissing it, like he's just holding you and kissing you, like bending over, kissing you. So he's very affectionate. He really misses you on an energetic level and also the connection, like you're his safe place. So probably even since a little child, he must have been, I'm gonna say a little Molly, like a little touchy-feely, like to me, and he's just literally so thank you very much for
Thank
that.
you.
Because thank you for even um so you taught him how to dance? That's what he's telling me.
Yeah.
Oh, he said,
I danced with all my kids. Yeah.
yeah, he said, my mother is a dancer. He said, you know, she's the original dancing queen. So there's our gay pun for the day, the dancing queen. But that is what's because he said that she showed every like my moves were her moves. Like this is and that's the laughter, that's the love that he looks down upon and sees, and he's just thinking it. Now, is there a grandkid that came after his death that is mannerisms of him or something? Because there's something about a new essence on the planet.
So, well, I have four, and there was one that was born just before his passing.
Okay.
So that would be my youngest grandson. His name is Jace.
And he's like him though a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
He's a
because
very
he's
sweet
telling me
boy.
that's the healing one. So I think Spirit already knew your son was going for whatever reason. I really do know that like something was in the makings of this.
Thank
So
you.
but that's because that kid is he watches over him. He makes sure that he is there. Make sure he's gonna stay out of trouble. He said that is his little spirit, like he's like his guardian.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So just make sure you tell a sibling that he's joking about it. So I don't know if that sibling's gonna be happy that he's guiding him, but he's like, and he's
Yeah.
making like a crazy face about it. He's very happy, always smiling. I wanted to tell you his smile is beautiful. He's always smiling when he's talking. He's like, just let him know that I'm watching the little ones. And it's like, okay, you must have been a little hellion yourself then if you're acting like this. It's just a very fun guy to be around.
He sure was.
30s when he passed?
39. It was right before his 40th birthday. He passed in
Oh,
March, and in November he would have been 40.
March what? I don't know why that's significant to him, but he asked me to ask the date, and I'm just gonna
March 10th.
okay. So what do you do with the November? Because the November is that close to Thanksgiving for you, or
Yeah. So last year I just hit the one, was my first year last year. it took, because March this year was the 1 year anniversary. So I went to his brother's in Colorado and spent the time with his family and my grandson and granddaughter. Oh no, for the birthday I went to Texas where he would have went with his sister. So
Okay.
we was, yes, with his best friend Ro, which was also like another sister. So I did it with the girls.
So I want to remind you this, and I'm reminding every mother in the room that a birthday is an anniversary of the day you met your child. They were alive and well in your body. You felt them kicking, punching, trying to get out of there for those 9 months. And then you finally got to meet them. So don't make the birthday sad, make it an anniversary and say, this is when I met this wonderful light. I'm going to tell you, when I came in here, I mentioned about the chosen ones and all these children that I brought in today. They all had a very unique light, but your son has a light that draws attention to him like no other. It's like a moth to a flame. I'm being honest with you. I would say he could demand a crowd. So I don't know what he liked to do on the weekends or what he liked to do for his fun, but he probably had a lot of people surrounding him.
He did. He was
Because he
very
has
well
this
liked.
energy where you just want to follow him. You will follow him anywhere. He could have took us all for Kool-Aid and we all would have went.
We would
That's
have
the part that I
went.
because his energy is like, I trust you. It follow me. So I just want to let you know when you feel that energy. Now he's only up there a year, probably around the 2 to 3 year mark is because I always tell people it's like this. A soul goes in our body. It takes 9 months to develop this spacesuit so we can live on this planet. Then we live on this planet and then we go to the spirit world and we leave that spacesuit here because it stays and goes back to the earth. And then the spirit goes back up there. And then the spirit has to report back what it learned and clear up what it should have learned and what it didn't and how it perceived it. And then it reattaches to a person of unconditional love or someone they truly would love to help on this planet. And that's where the wings statement comes through. This is how it was explained to me. So I really feel probably about 2.5 years in, he will be done because he doesn't have much karma. I mean, he was a little bit more self-destructive on himself than other people. He rather hurt himself than other people. So I just feel like he's going to work through that. But that's all I see with him on the other
Very true. Very
side.
true.
He's a good man, a good boy, and he loves his mother so dearly. And again, he wants to hug you, but he's been hugging you the whole time, and he wants to kiss you, but he's been kissing you the whole time. So you're okay with that. So I am going to respect the time because we are pushing a little bit over, and I just want to thank you very much for your time today. And please know that whatever you need, ask him. He will move mountains for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Such a pleasure.
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad that we were able to hear Lisa, and I am also excited about this drawing. So if anybody didn't understand, please put your email address in the chat box so that it can be entered into a drawing that Annie will take care of, so that Christopher can kindly give one of you a reading. So I think that we'll be able to get that done pretty quickly as well. And I also encourage you to join the group, the new Helping Parents Heal 2SLGBTQ IA plus Rainbow Kids group. And if you're able to, I put that link in the chat box as well. And then again, if you have any validation stories, please send them to me at elizabeth@helpingparentsheal.org. Annie, do you have anything you'd like to say?
I do. I before we met, I was remembering an article that I read by Mark Pitstick from early on in my grief journey, and it was about LGBTQ. He's titled it I and spirituality. And it really was profound. And I found it, and I would love to forward it to any parent who'd be interested in reading it.
Well, do you know the number that it is? Because it's easy for people to find those articles on soulproof.com, but he always just mentions the number so that it's easy to find the number. Or is it there? Is there a number on it? I would think there is.
Well, I know the date. It was from 6/7/19. And at the bottom, Mark said to look at the bottom. Okay, let's see. Soulproof. Was he doing numbers back then?
Maybe not. Maybe he wasn't. But yeah, if anybody would like to have that, maybe you could just forward it to all of the emails that we get in the chat box, and that will be good. And I will make sure to get all of those to you, Annie. And thank you so much, Christopher, for being on here. I'm really looking forward to seeing you at the conference. It'll be so nice. I hope we're
I'm very excited also.
Oh, good. I'm really glad. I know that Debbie's coming as well as Annie and her husband are coming. And I hope that some other people who are on here are going to be at the conference with us. And good, Carolyn is coming. It's going to be warm, but don't worry, it's not too bad. So anyway, thank you so much. We always ask everybody to unmute and say thank you if you'd like to do so.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christopher.
So I do want to, I want to share.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I do want to share
you.
a couple of plugs that I normally don't share, but I do have an ongoing discount for Helping Parents Heal for 15% off of any of my services. The other thing too is if you wanted to get your family members together, I do not charge extra for multiple people. So most mediums do. So I have done parties for people, 18 people, and I pulled in the same person for all 18 people. It was grandmother, grandson. It was very beautiful. So if you ever wanted to do that on Zoom, I am capable of doing that in Zoom. If you have other family members that do want to hear from loved ones, you know, it could be an affordable way for you to get a private reading from a medium.
Wow.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And that's
Thank you.
great to
Yeah.
have that.
Thank you, Christopher.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Have a wonderful evening, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye.